Welcome back to Tea and Toys. This time we've got the second wave of the Defenders of the Earth line from NECA. Not some of the same issues that you got from the first wave where things were snapping and breaking all over the place. Luckily, mine are still intact from the first wave. Again, I haven't... If you watch that video, I did not move them too much and they've not been moved too much since then. So who do we get? First up, Mandrake. Let's have a little sneak peek at that box art, which just looks great on all of these figures. So Mandrake, the Master of Illusion. Here he is, Master of Magic, Spells and Illusion. Enemies crumble in fear and confusion. That is right, it is Mandrake. Now, there he is. What does he come with? First up, comes with the same gun that 5 of the other characters come with. And his magic wand. Like all the other characters, comes with like a long laser blast. And I think I think Lothar came with a short laser blast, so I've got this bit mixed up here. And he comes with an assortment of different hands. So you've got... I came packaged with 2 fist hands, which, if you've watched my videos before, not a fan of the fist hands. Of the closed fist hands. I don't see the point in it. Especially you've got to pull them out straight off the bat to make him actually hold his accessories. Which I've clearly had to do. And he's got like a magic wand waving type hand, which is really well sculpted. Look at that. Look at the detail on that. Look at his fingernails. And I haven't stripped the paint off this one. So that's one thing I will say first off the bat is when removing the pegs from the hands, be careful, like twisting and turning them, that NECA paint them and that can stiffen up the peg hole. So easy thing to do is you can actually peel the paint off of these really easily. So I've done it with the other hands so they can slot in nice and easy and they can twist without any fear. Let's see, look, there's paint come off there. So let's have a quick closer look. Now look at this lovely shiny paint finish they gave him. Now the ring of the hat is a bit springy. Look at that face sculpt. That is so well done. Really good. They've really brought that cartoon character to life by doing this toy line really well. And I do love, like I said, I do love this shiny finish, this magical shine. He's got this nice fabric cape, which, if you know from Dungeons and Dragons video, I do think some of those characters should definitely have had fabric capes, and if they don't, give the thief one. Crime. Toe articulation, don't really see the point in that, if I'm honest. I don't get it. And unlike the other characters, Mandrake actually has single articulation knees. Oh, much prefer that. Less to break, less to worry about. I do find moving these double knees and double elbows, they're just a pain for me personally. I prefer just a single. Unless the character needs it, like for bow and arrow purposes or how they hold a weapon in a show, then don't give them double jointed elbows and knees. I know that's controversial, but I don't see the point in it. But there he is. Lots of articulation. The head, his head came detached from the body, so it did make it look like the figure had a really long neck. So don't be discouraged with that. It does pop on easily. It wasn't rolling around in the box, so you can take it out and it pops on easily. But if you're a mint in box collector, it might look a bit annoying because it has this really long neck. Wish I should have shown it before I opened them up, but I'm too eager to play. I've been waiting since the 80s to get this whole set. Love it. But it does feel like it took ages for these guys to be released. And in the show, in the original comic book line for Mandrake the Magician, he had a ward called Lothar. And that is the inspiration for our friend Lothar here. There's his box art. The strongest man in the world. Well, there we are. He does have super strength. I did question myself earlier whether he did have super strength. So what is Lothar? His strength is a legend. His skill conquers all. One with his power, he never will fall. Lothar. That's him. Looking absolutely fantastic. Look at the detail on that face sculpt. But then again, look at the detail across the figure. Like the rope that goes around his arm, to the elbow pads, to this belt and all these belt loops, and pockets and pouches, and look at that. Even the clip. Like that could have just been to be fair, that could have just been a solid piece of plastic and they could have left it and people would have gone, oh well, whatever. But just the outright detail. And this, is that a little... Oh, I can't remember what that does. Like it does use a lot of stuff in the show from memory. But even then, look at that. Look, it just down to these little buckles here and stuff. Oh, yeah, definitely on par with Ming when it comes to details. They just went overload. Added the detail to this character to make him pop. And does he pop? He is... he's better than Flash, the Phantom, and definitely on par with Ming when it comes to details. Do you know what? I'm going to show it now. There we are, look. These two figures. Look at just outright detail. Like this guy's in a suit, Flash is in a jumpsuit, Phantom's in a jumpsuit. He's kind of a plain robe, but he was his own mould anyway. But look at the details alone on these guys, the faces. Just look-wise, they came out brilliantly. It's a shame this first wave is sort of rife with a few breakages and stuff. But so far, these guys have been quite sturdy. There's been no issues with them that I could see and that I've read. And one cool thing, one of his accessories, to jump in and skip in here, a knife. How cool is that? Because that is usually just a sculpted piece of detail. Why bother? Don't ever have to bother doing that again. But no, they added it, and it's in there, and it slots in really nicely, really tightly. You know, that's not coming out unless you pull it out. And like with the other characters, I don't know, I did that. It comes with the same gun, same gun as 5 of the characters, himself included. And now, one boo-boo with this is this part of the grappling hook seems to keep wanting to come out, which is a bit annoying. It's the one sort of big down from this wave that I've had. And to be fair, he's going to hold it most of the time. I'll try and get it back in. There we are, I got it in again. But you see it's a bit more... It wants to pop out more so than the other two. So I'll just leave it like that. He can hold that. And like with all the other characters, comes with fist hands. Again, he came packaged with the fist hands, so I've had to pull them out. Do the same trick as I did with Mandrake by peeling off the paint on the pegs. And one thing they did do right this time round with the pegs on Mandrake, Lothar and Garax is they gave the right colour peg and it for the hand, whereas Phantom, purple peg, white guy hand. Flash, red peg, white guy hand. It just seems dumbest thing to have done, whereas this time round, you know, you got the right colour peg with the right colour hand. I don't think... Was Ming the same? Yeah, Ming was the same. Yeah, green guy hand and like a dark bluey purple peg. Why? It just shears off and you can see it's not the right colour, so I don't know why they did that. But yeah, Lothar. Oh, you know, look-wise, yeah, he's definitely on a par with Ming as being one of my favourite figures in this wave. I do actually like all the figures in this wave. I think they all look great in their own way. But, man, the detail on Lothar alone is just great. And one cool thing is, I don't know if you're meant to be able to do this, but you can take off his harness like that. So you can have him displayed without it if you don't want it on him. Which, again, looks quite cool. Although, I am getting Black Adam vibes with that logo on there. And he's the only one that's really like showing off that he's a member of Defenders of the Earth. He's really showing off. He's like, hey guys, I'm Defenders of the Earth. That Flash is like this little one here. And the other two, they don't even have it. But yeah. So, yeah, it's not... Well, there's a few scuffs here, but you're not meant to take it off, let's say. But I'm happy that you can, if you want to. If your kid wants to play with it, you don't have to rip it to pull it off. It's just... There we are. He can be... without it, if you want him to be battling a long battle with, I don't know, let's say Garax fisticuffs in, and he's like, right guys, I'm taking this off. This means business. So it easily goes back on. Put the arms back like that. Won't be able to do it on so quickly now on camera. So yeah, that easily goes back on again. So no issues there whatsoever. And yeah, so it comes with grappling hook, 2 additional hands, which are these two, and a long laser blast and a short laser blast. Next up we have Garax, the character that was not shown off in the initial little shop. I think it's in one of the San Diego's or the New York's, or even a toy show. And that artwork just looks phenomenal. Looks good. Look, the nice, like, the shining off his ice armor. Yeah, that looks really good. Showing off his big nasty gun that he comes with. So Garax, the ultimate evil robot. Unfortunately, unlike the other two, he has no intro phrase because he's not one of the good guys, so didn't get one. I can't remember if Ming had one. I've thrown away the boxes, but never mind. So yeah, Garax, the character that was not originally shown off. Here he is at long last. A lot of people asked questions to NECA, where is he? He's the 6th member of this original toy line. And he's no disappointment. I think this turned out fantastically. Like, all the articulation works really well on him, to be fair. And like, just, I don't know, he just seems, he's very poseable. I just absolutely loved this design as a kid. Always wanted this figure. Was not allowed Defenders of the Earth toys. I don't know why we were not allowed them. Wasn't some weird thing in the family. I guess we just had so many other things like Galaxy Rangers and so on and so forth. But yeah, Brave Star and Defenders of the Earth, we just weren't allowed them. It's just one of those things. But yeah, he came out great. Like, looking at him in person and looking at him on the camera here, it doesn't give him justice. These colours really are popping on him, and it really works. These 3 different blues that I've got going on with the white background, he just looks the part. He looks great. So what did Garax come with? Garax comes with a big blasty gun, which you can slot onto his hand like so. You can do both sides. And I thought it was the same gun as everybody else, but it is in fact a different handgun. So let's just nick Lothar's here. There we go. So Garax gets his own little handgun, whereas the other 5 characters all get the same one. That's this one. So it's quite cool. It gets something a bit different. And it slides into his little hand there. And comes with different, like, fists. Actually, that's not a fist. With a holdy gun hand there, like that. And a few open hands, which I always think is quite cool. Well, Lothar, I think Lothar should come to some open hands. And now, guilty. I don't know what that is. So if anybody can help me, other than it being maybe... No, it's too silly. If anybody can help me what that is, that'd be most grateful. Another cool thing with Garax is you can actually attach this gun to the main cannon, so you can have a bigger cannon. Not bad little accessory at all. Nicely added in together like that. And still no idea what that is. And the only other figure I might pick up, if they did any more, which I can't see them doing personally, is maybe the Ice Trooper. And if they don't ever do that, I might track down 2 of the toy version Garax to go with this Garax. I believe there was an episode where all the characters had like a different look, and the toy version looks a lot like that Ice Trooper from that episode, because I don't think Garax was even in that episode. They were all Ice Troopers that kind of looked a bit like him, and it's the only episode that they ever shown. And I think Lothar has a different costume, and all the kids have different costumes. Yeah, another character has a very different costume. He's got this big crest on his head, and he's got like purple skin, and that's Ming the Merciless. So let's get all them out for this one last little show of comparisons for everybody. Now, in the King's comic that they did recently through Dynamite, I believe it was Dynamite, they did a Defenders of the Earth story. Ming's trying to conquer the Earth for the first time, so they all come together. And in that storyline, they actually kill off the Phantom. And the character that becomes the Phantom at the end of that storyline, sorry, spoilers, is Lothar. So if they do another Lothar figure that isn't that slightly different costume one from that one episode, do a Lothar version of the Phantom. But I do think you probably need a whole new sculpt, because he's a bigger built guy. He's the strongest man in the world. You need to have a Phantom that's based, I'm not saying on this buck exactly, but it needs to be of the same size, so it works. And last but no means least, Flash Gordon. But you can see why that I absolutely love it's funny they're together. Lothar and Ming's sculpts over the other guys. Like, I actually do think they all come out. They all look very good anyway. Like, they in their own right. But he's wearing pajamas. He's wearing pajamas. He's just a buck with paint on him. Whereas the sculpting that went into these two is just phenomenal. I do love the guy in the suit as well. Well, what do you think? No issues breakaging wise with the new 3. But I would still say be careful just in case. What do you guys think? Don't forget to love, like, subscribe. I see you guys and girls in the next video.